Hello, welcome to another movie review here on my channel. So we're going to look at Interstellar. Yes, indeed. A sci-fi thriller? I think it's sci-fi. A sci-fi movie about that is basically a pilot, what can I say, space shuttle pilot or a plane pilot, something like that. He's a pilot of some sort, an astronaut, something like that, and he's basically trying to save human species. Let's start with storyline. The story is basically that Earth is starting to dry out. That is what I'm getting out of it. A lot of sandstorm is happening. All the crops that is basically keeping us alive is starting to dry out and basically disappear. To basically meet human demand on food, they need a lot of farmers. But the only crops that is basically growing at this point is corn. And yeah, the reason for that is that it have actually survived these storms for a long while, but that is starting to fail as well because corn is also going to dry out. We meet our main character Matthew McConaughey. He has a son, a teenage son, and a younger daughter, maybe 9 or 8, if I remember correctly, that he is taking care of. If I remember correctly, that his wife basically died, and that is why he's raising them with with their grandpa. I can't remember if it is his character's father or if it was their mother's father. I can't remember that, but it's a grandpa anyway. One day, some weird things happening in his daughter's room, and they're trying to figure out why. That is during a sandstorm. One weird thing that is happening is that when one of the windows open up, sand comes in and it basically drops on the floor in a Morse code kind of way. And I think it was McConaughey or his daughter that is basically trying to decode this. And with this, when they decode it, they get coordinates for somewhere in nowhere. Basically, they get there, get captured because it is a military no, it wasn't military, it was NASA secret place, basically. Secret lab or space program or something like that. They basically give him a mission that he can accept or decline. He basically accepts because he wants to save humankind. The thing he shall do is basically find a habitable planet out of 3, because they have sent out astronauts to find out if the planets that they are going to is habitable. There were 12 astronauts in total, and 3 was acceptable candidates to be on New Earth. He accepts it, but his kids doesn't like it, especially his daughter. But he goes on the journey anyway. There he finds, what can I say, a professor and some other astronauts. The professor is played by Anne Hathaway. I think it is alright. Anyway, the first planet they basically goes to is a planet that is basically a lot of water on. The thing that's basically the weird thing about this planet is that when they are on the planet, time goes by really fast. So when they needed to go there really fast, so that they didn't lose a lot of years. Because I think it was for every hour they lose around 7 years, something like that. That was kind of weird in my opinion, but it was really intriguing to actually see it on this planet. As I said, the planet was flooded and a giant wave comes to them, and one of the people that were with them on this journey basically dies. Of course, all 2 main characters were alive, which Matthew McConaughey and Hathaway. The next planet they basically needed to choose which one they should go to, because they don't have the amount of fuel to basically go to both. It gives a little bit of a tension, and it's really interesting to see which one they actually chose. It is a planet that there are two planets, one that is a professor that basically going to, and one where Anne Hathaway's love interest is at. She wanted to go to the love interest, but because she was outvoted by the other two, they go to the other planet where the professor was. When they come there, it is basically an ice planet, and we basically figure out on the planet that, well, between that and they come to that planet, they basically finds out that, I don't know, I think it was 20 years or so they went by when they were on the water planet. So his children is basically really old, the grandpa is dead, and so on and so on. We ends up on the ice planet. There is Professor Brace. How he survived was a really weird thing, but they basically is in one of these sleep machine there. You sleep, you doesn't age in that machine basically, and so on and so on. And they're trying to set up a station and everything. And yeah, when that is going on, we will see Anthony's father and Matthew McConaughey's daughter. I don't say their names, but because it is easier that way, I can't remember their characters' names, so sorry for that. We see them trying to figure out how to make, basically how to make a ship ready. But in the end, when the Anthony's father basically dies, we find out that he basically lied, and they can't figure out a way to basically getting away from Earth. So yeah. So they are basically screwed. That is kinda sad when you think about it. When I did hear of that twist, it was really sad and really it was sad. That is all I can say. Because in the ship they basically send out, they have embryon to make basically so they can start a colony on the new planet A. That was basically plan B. Plan A was to find a planet and basically send all the people on Earth that they can basically take on the ship and go there. But because of the gravity on Earth, they couldn't do that. And he never figured out before he died how to fix this gravity thing. So he died basically, leaving all on Earth to die with him. Really sad, and really, it's an intriguing thing, but when you think about it, I don't know. I think it was a great plot point in my opinion. Now we go back to the ice planet where we find out that he had lied. The planet isn't habitable because it is really icy and fun, and he's trying to kill Matthew McConaughey. And he's trying to flee the planet. In the end, he dies because he accidentally, makes these space stations explode. So, in the final moments before, they have a small station ship, and they decide to, go to the other planet, but they don't have the amount of fuel with the amount of people they have on the ship, so they basically Matthew McConaughey basically kills himself. He basically sends himself into a black hole, and here it gets bad. The movie so far have been really amazing. I really loved it. It was one of the best movies I've seen so far, one of the best sci-fi movies. But then when it goes into the black hole, all of this is thrown away. It gets so bad that I'm a little bit angry about it. It is basically, he comes into us, I don't know, dimension or room or something, and we will see his daughter when she was 8 and 9 through a book cage. and he is trying to speak to her by motion code, by basically put out all the books from the shelves from behind it. And yeah, he basically found out that he is the reason to get him, that they sent him there. Because he started this motion code thing. He was the reason for that. But now he's trying to say the give the formula to basically save Earth and ship, but via motion code. And he also finds out that later, in 20 years later, and she gets happy about it because she finds out it was her father that did it. And then the room implodes, it just disappears, and he wakes up in a hospital bed. And we will see his daughter that is basically 90 years old, a lot of the family she has gained, and he goes after Anne Hathaway's character in the end, and that is how it ends. As I said, the story was amazing until the last point, where they basically throw it all away and made a stupid ending, in my opinion. Yes, it is a ex machina kind of ending where he basically saves Earth, or all the people on Earth, because of the thing he basically did. But it's just bad. I don't know how they figured out that ending. It was just, it feels like they wanted to just end the movie in some epic way, but they couldn't figure one out, and you just said, let's do this, and it happened. I don't know why. It was one of the worst endings I've seen so far. Of course, it's a happy ending. I feel for the person, for the characters, because it is a happy ending. You feel for his daughter, because she's one that basically that took his information and saved humankind. It was really intriguing, in my opinion, that part. But that room thing was just bad. Anyway, the acting in this movie is amazing. One of the best acting movies I've seen so far. It's really amazing in that part. Effects and environments, top notch. Nothing is bad. I like these space movies nowadays. Gravity, for example, is really amazing. This one is no exception. Lately they have done amazing sci-fi space movies. Overall, the movie is a disappointment. Even if it's really good, it disappoints because how they ended the movie. Overall, it is one of the best movies I've seen, but in the end, it is just a disappointment. The rating for the movie are going to be an 8 out of 10. I'm giving it a high rating because of all the other things. The storyline is amazing up until the last part, which basically threw this movie down from what it could have been a 10 basically. So good was it. But the ending just throws it down from that throne. The acting is amazing, the effects and environments are amazing, but overall the movie disappoints when it comes to the ending, and that is why I give it just an 8. That's all for today, folks. Hope to see you next time. Bye.